Yeah, well, so again, we'll let you know once we get the results for that and see how that one fares out as well. But the one that we're covering here, and I think for good reason, Fresh versus BMG, the debut of Cycle 1 for these two teams again, and definitely an entertaining, to say the least, first game, as not only just very solid play, but some picks. I can't say a lot of people would have expected a riptide to happen for the very first game here of BMG, but it sure did. And although it was an impressive start, it unfortunately did not snowball like they were hoping for. So this time we'll see if it's a little more routine, or if once again we have a little different to pick. Oh, but Thunderbird on the other side, obviously another one that definitely stood out there too. But anyways, the draft that we do have here: Swiftblade, Warbeast, Puppet, and Tremble the bands. Midas into Moira, Ophelia into Behemoth, and then there's a Moraxis coming out from Fresh. So
yeah, Midas, Suicide Midas, I would assume, from the draft so far. And then we have the Moraxis in the mid, obviously great versus the Moira ganks, can easily arc and shield away the shards of Harkon. Now the question is this Behemoth. Like, I know that Boxy plays it a lot in the Suicide role, but I also knew that it was Root of Sea's favorite hero back in the days, combined with the Riftwalker, of course. Yeah. But now when Fusen is playing that secondary support instead, who's going to be ending up on that Behemoth secondary support? Is that going to be Fusen's job now, or is it still going to be a Root of Sea?
That's a really good question, because, yeah, Fusen is also known for playing as more, like, but again, I think they're changing it up. I really do. So I would not be surprised to see them kind of swap that, and just to get a feel of, again, how they work in those roles. Clearly that they've made that point that that's what they're doing. So although it may seem odd to us, I mean, they're making that transition. So I'm expecting them, again, to swap it up more on Root of Z and Behemoth on Fusen, but we'll see. Silhouette, though, going to be their carry of choice. They third pick a Silhouette here for Baltazar.
Yeah, Silhouette has had so, well, tough decisions or tough results lately. Like, ever since DreamHack, and, well, even during DreamHack, you didn't really have too much of success. I remember the series Sync versus MRR, especially, like, when she went 0-3 in that series. But even now, like in the qualifiers, I don't think I've seen a Silhouette win a single game. It just feels like she's tapered off quite a bit. She needs to get a snowballing effect. And sometimes, yes, I feel like Silhouette can be a great pickup. But it all, or usually comes down to that fourth or fifth pick because it's so easily countered. And I don't think that this game is anything less. Like Moraxis with a solid quick stun, get the health flower and you got the Silhouette shut down. As well as the Midas combination. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, picking Silhouette this early on, I think it's a bit greedy.
And then there's even something, let's not forget about, something like an electrician, that you can insta-kill an illusion of Silhouette. So we have seen that a couple of times in the past, especially when Silhouette really was picked up quite a bit on the scene. So, yeah, definitely see where you're coming from there, and if that's going to come back to bite them in the ass or not. But the bands to follow: Gladiator, Doctor, Prisoner, Dark Lady, Lodestone, and Oogie. So interesting seeing the Gladiator ban, especially from Fresh. But I guess BMG perhaps has been running a little bit of that as of late in their scrims and whatnot. So taking it out here.
That they are.
Fourth pick.
They need a support and they need a hard carry for Probusk. I wonder what it is. I mean, I feel like at this point they could just go all in push with the Ophelia, like get a Rhapsody in the Zephyr, something like that, and just go for it.
That would be fun. May not happen, but that would be
fun. Okay, that's one, like, yeah, exactly. That's definitely going to aid them in their pushing. Oh, Hellborn team, are they right-clicking the Aluna? Is that going to be Boxy mid, Aluna versus the Moraxis? All right. I gotta say, BMG, they are once again like kind of painting themselves into a little bit of corner. They are going very early game directed here, but I don't know if it doesn't feel like it synergizes with the whole Silhouette. If you want to be that offensive early on, I mean, Silhouette is like the whole counter pusher and split pusher, while the rest of the team is like, okay, all in offensive, and there is the Sandref.
Yeah, just the idea of an Aluna, like, what does Aluna bring as far as a farming compared to other farming heroes that they wouldn't? I don't know. It seems odd to me. I know that she has potential, but It's like, why?
Yeah, I don't think the Silhouette or Luna is like they are a little bit similar in that sense as well. Like I don't feel like they bring anything towards or versus this enemy lineup that they are up against, like versus that push ability that is coming out, and versus those Midas and Meraxes, like tanky heroes, like a Luna Power Throw. I mean, that's just going to tickle Meraxes and Midas a little bit. I mean, sure, it's good versus the laning, or it's good during the laning phase, but as soon as we're past that point, yeah, Luna, this is... I know that Boxy plays it really well, like any other hero out there, that goes without saying, but yeah, I'm on the same page as you. I don't see why you would like favor Luna over other heroes.
It's the global presence, like the only thing, but even if that's the case, why not just run it more in a support role and still provide plenty of damage from the global aspect there? And this isn't necessarily a very global team, though, either. I mean, I guess having Mora can set up kills very well. And, well, there you go. Wild Soul to finish it off in the immediate ready-up from Maki as soon as he gets it. So that's something that we're going to be seeing here, apparently. We saw it yesterday, obviously, in the hands of, it was Reason, right? They ran it, and ultimately did very well. The whole team did very well that game, so that was with the Wild Soul, War Beast, and whatnot, but...
All right, so a few things stand out here. First of all, Maka is the one playing the Wild Soul, so I would assume that this is going to be actually a Suicide Wild Soul, and not the Forest Wild Soul, so they're going to have the defensive tri-lane once again. That's BMG is so known for doing. And Root of Sea is the one playing the Behemoth.
He is. That's not what I expected. It really wasn't. Because of the changes here. So they are going to go with I guess the comfortable hero combinations, though, is what they're sticking with. Despite them announcing kind of changing the roles. So, but yeah, Suicide Wild Soul, that is different too. When we saw it yesterday, it was a Jungle Wild Soul, so going to get an idea of how the Suicide Wild Soul works now after the rework. I assume it's pretty similar to how it was before, where it's just very annoying, and he does the free pull. There's nothing you can do against it, really.
That's
so.
a good way to put it. It's always annoying with all those freaking pull heroes in the Suicide Lane. If you're playing the hard support, you're just like, come on, give me a break. I just have to run after those freaking creeps.
Yeah.
It feels like such a waste of time.
Yeah, and Boo Boo you like literally can't kill. So it really is a waste of time. Like the Hellhounds, or when Keeper had his Street Out, like those things at least you had a chance, I feel like, to maybe kill, but it's just you're not gonna kill Boo Boo. Unless all five of you are there and you like stun lock him, so.
I don't know if he's that tanky, but it's definitely going to take a few impalements to bring him down at least.
1,400 life at level 1, man. It's a lot.
It is, but he's going to tank the creep wave as well, so he's going to take a little bit of damage that way.
Yes, true.
And yeah, but normally like War Beast and the old Keeper, for example, I mean, you could easily like have a Forest hero to aid you with that as well, like a Tempest. You could just eat or summon the elementals from one of them, and then support only had to deal with one. But that's not really the way to go with Boo Boo here, unfortunately. Oh wait, by the way, does Deadlift affect Boo Boo? He does, right?
Yes, it does. Yeah. The onslaught.
Interesting.
So, yeah, there is that synergy there. Something to think about. Oh, by the way, I'm monitoring the other game, and it looks like Complexity did really start to pull ahead now. All of a sudden, up 23-9 in hero kills. Gained like 10 or so hero kills since we last checked it. So, still happening, but 14-1-5 Doctor being played by Formless. He's probably got a lot of Icon Number the Goddess charges on that there.
Yeah, bet on it.
Looks like Complexity may pull through in Game 1 there, that series. Again, the first game for them, but Chopstick played plenty yesterday. And looking at the standings, again, this isn't updated through the first games today here, but this is from yesterday's games ultimately. You see Chopstick currently in second place with 4 points there. They went 1-1-1 overall. Recent Gaming sitting comfortably in first place, though, winning all 3 of their matches against Revolution, Chopstick, and Sonic Esports yesterday. All of them 2-0, so got the bonus points, and thus at the 9 points total. So now we're going to start seeing things shape up, though, after today, as obviously all the other teams, Fresh, Bad Monkey Gaming, Complexity, and not Sync Esports, whatever. That team also is going to play today. In fact, they're going to be the last match of the day against the same Fresh team here that we're going to be covering. So definitely excited for that one. To see them and their new roster and how that all works out here. So.
Have they announced another game or another name yet?
No, they've honestly. I stopped trying, man. I was trying to get something, and it's just like And so, well, I'm just calling them not sync. Not sync esports, basically. So.
Or just call them sync.
Or even sync, yeah. But they
X-Sync.
play Revolution next, but we're going to be covering this BMG team versus Complexity next. And then we'll cover Fresh versus Sync last here today. So that's the schedule plan for today here on Honcast.
Oh, by the way, look at this Maka, this build of his. So many minor totems. Pretty sure he got something pulled. Maybe not.
Maybe not. But
Yeah, he got... okay.
Well, that's the thing I noticed yesterday, too. That was actually kind of interesting about this newer Wild Souls. The idea of the boots, actually, which he not only got Ghost Marchers on Boo, that used to be a thing, too, but he actually got Steam Boots on himself. And I think that goes back to the idea that, he's more about building up himself rather than Boo Boo with the new style of the Wild Soul, how he can ultimately get the bare abilities and do it himself, too, so...
5 players down here, by the way, from the side of Mint, but somehow Mac has still got a word of sight off. They're actually taking a trip down to the river instead. Yeah, the Legion team, instead of defending their pole. So Maka was safely he was able to run out and place the ward. I don't know if they have any river wards. They do have one, but
you can't do it with Boo Boo, right? You need mana for it. So yeah, you can't.
Yeah. It was Maka himself running down there.
Huh. Interesting. Well,
yeah.
They do not have a... Well, no, Torture does. Okay, yeah.
It does, but the ward of sight is positioned in the trees, and so unless it used a chain reaction, and I assume that he's going to go for the impalement here to box out Boo Boo, then he's not going to be able to bring that down without the flying courier, and that's not going to happen anytime soon.
Yep. Boo Boo's like, dude, just stop trying. I'm just gonna walk away with your creep wave. Nothing you could do. I mean, he does some good damage to him, or hurt, but he's gonna start regenerating here, and it's just... Part of me almost question: is it worth Torture even spending that whole time chasing him and wasting the mana?
Well, what can he otherwise do?
That's true. Yeah, I guess.
I mean, sure, he can go to the mid and aid more access. I would probably prefer that, but in that case, like, he's gonna have to rotate back here anyway later on because Sanref obviously needs help versus the Wild Soul. By the way, Cerny is tanking this archer throughout the entire period of time. Not entirely sure if that was intended or not. Here goes Boo Boo once more.
So he's back. Here we go, round 2. There goes the impalement. He's going to block him. He's actually doing a pretty good job of maximizing damage here. Boo Boo is getting fairly lower, but he is below half-life now. And I like the new disarm effect actually on him. That actually works. Because, yeah, before it was hard to tell if he's out of range sometimes or not. Look at the blocking, dude. The impalement's going to be back up here. In 7 seconds. Not soon enough.
It's not going to be enough, unfortunately. Nice body blocking,
yeah.
Though, by Cerny, maximizing the damage once more. Yeah, you could almost argue that putting Torture in the mid would have been a better option. Just to secure farm onto Meraxes instead.
Well, at the same time, now, what he's done here, now, if Make tries to pull again, he's not going to be able to do it. Like, Boo Boo's at the point where he's a little too low right now, and he will die. If he goes
but
so.
He can just summon a new one.
He could just summon a new one, yes. Well, it is a 30-second cooldown, remember, with the new one.
Right.
So there is a little bit of a downside there. Oh, geez, he just bowls. Well, why did he get bit? Oh, the frenzy, okay. It's like, holy shit, Boo Boo's just going
he's
crazy.
fat now.
It's huge. Okay, there are the things going on than Boo Boo running around the jungle, so let's talk about that. We got the middle lane matchup, Aluna versus the Moraxis here. Aluna actually bottling up the haste rune bottom, so good rune control coming out from Boxy there. Yeah, that was interesting too. I don't know if we mentioned it, but he actually didn't get bottle on Riptide last game. So as far as rune control is concerned, it was maybe not as effective there, but he does have it here in Aluna though. So.
Are you sure that he didn't go bottle on Riptide?
I did not see it in earlier on in the game, unless he sold it very early. I don't think.
I think he got one.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that he got one.
Yeah, I don't
He
think
did it? Didn't he have a DD in a bottle at some point where he took down Thunderbringer?
He might have just had it on him. I don't know. Maybe he shared it with somebody. I know Lodestone got a bottle, but yeah. Anyways, he has it now, so...
Interesting.
That's important here, but...
Yeah, Probus, by the way, doing a fabulous job. Even with the Boo Boo pulling the creeps, he's still at the perfect creep score, more or less. 350 gold per minute. That's, I mean, even better than Balthazar at this point.
Yeah.
By the way, Sib up here. He's up versus Tri-Lane but he's doing a really good job at finding the farm and experience.
Yeah, what else is new, right? He's,
Exactly.
He's very comfortable in his suicide, and especially on Midas. He's running the upgraded silver Midas, by the way. I don't know if this is the fully upgraded one, but he's got some pretty good upgrades on it, I can tell. So give people an idea of what it may look like there. Anyways, middle lane, Aluna going at it with Moraxis, using that haste rune that Aluna has to kind of poke in there. And then going to use the bottle charges. Mid Aluna is 12-3. But even better as a non-support at 3-0. So yeah, when he's not running support, it seems like this hero actually does pretty damn good. Support, on the other hand, not so good. So that's the good news for BMG here.
Yeah, indeed. Just a little bit of a side note, real quick. I'm getting some wisps that your microphone is relatively low.
My microphone is low?
Yep, that's what I'm hearing.
Literally nothing's different than I've ever had it.
I heard, or I saw that people pointed it out in Twitch chat right now as well.
I'll turn me up a little bit then. There we go. Maybe that's
just be safe.
Better, yeah. Huh. It's been the same volume unless it's just always been low and people are just pointing it out. But all right, well, turned it up, so we'll see how that works now.
It was fine in the last game at least. But yeah, all right, leaving that by. I'm sure it's fine. Maybe people are a little bit too whiny.
Picky people.
Probably not. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Sibba now level 4 up here. He's got that combination. Never mind, not level 4. He's level 5 even. And now Silhouette actually needs to be a little bit careful because you cannot underestimate that combination.
Yeah. And more, you know, sure, she can throw out the Shards of Harkon and do stuff, but and actually they might try for something here. No, not going to go for it. And you saw the Mana Sunder animation coming out, so that's the other thing that they do have as well. So probably feeling overall pretty comfortable against it, but yeah, at the same time, if she happens to be pulling or something not nearby for that split second, then Silhouette could most certainly fall to a quick burst of Midas right here. Going the Ghost Marchers especially, so extra fragile here is Probusk on that Silhouette. But right now, Aluna leading the way, 360 gold per minute here, so we're definitely going to get to see a farmed Aluna and early game and how the impact may work here. Well, what build should we expect, you think? Is it the support utility kind of, the tablet maybe, things like that? Or
I would assume so. One popular option is usually the Hellflower as well. But you want a little bit of a little bit of build up before that. So Grave Locket usually tends to happen. As you can see, the necklace is already picked up. Probably going to continue into a Grave Locket. You could go for the Sacrificial Stone as well, but it's not as beneficial on Aluna. So it's probably going to build it into a Hellflower. That's my guess, at least.
Okay. Keep an eye on what Boxy ultimately goes for you here. How about Wild Soul? Well, he's getting the levels, level 6, and he also has about 265 gold per minute or so. So I think Make is definitely accomplishing what they're hoping for, and he's going to even triple stack the Ancients right here in the near future. Where is Boo Boo, by the way? Oh, it's down here. Okay. Of course, it's doing a creep pull. And is there anything on Boo Boo? Boots and a shield, so nothing too much just yet. And, you know, again, yesterday when we saw whoever was playing, I think it was Zane.
Tankafet.
Or Tankafet, that's right, yeah, it was Jungle. He went Steam Boots on himself, and then the Ghost Marchers on Boo Boo, and from there, I forget what he actually went, because they were just so snowballing that I didn't even really notice, I think, but
since it's Tankafet, I would have guessed on our items.
Like a Soul's Bork and stuff like that, yeah, which seems like it would make sense on Wild Soul still, so I guess that wouldn't be out of the question there. But Vildarok coming in, by the way. Look at this. Bottom lane. Behemoth and Moira. Moira doesn't have boots, neither does Behemoth, so they're actually pretty slow Vildarok here.
Well, it might be enough. The Desert Curse, of course, can fly over or run over the Fisher, so they have to finish him off fast. Moira's stunned.
Oh, he didn't he should have Mana Sundered first right there, man. I guess the illusion just poured it in, so it's not like he really could have. And actually, he is going to get away. So the gank attempt has failed, unfortunately.
And it probably should have ignored illusion altogether and just ran in instead.
Yeah,
he should have just kept running with Behemoth, with the Veiled Rot.
Yeah, if she got that Mana Sunder first, and the Desert Curse wouldn't have happened, and then very likely could have followed up for enough burst damage, but unsuccessful. But look at this bottom tower now. Wild Soul knows it's open here and dealing crazy damage to it. Eventually going to fall back, but That's just another power that he brings to the table. Of course, if you leave the tower open.
Meraxus, he's got to pour it out if he wants to live through this.
He is in bare form down here. Wild Soul isn't going to be tanking up. Behemoth the fidget stun, kind of a little bit of a block right there, trying to buy some time. Stop coming out again. I don't think it's going to matter, though. Matrax will explode, and Haxorin picks up the Bloodlust kill in the end. So good chase on Amaki there. And eventually picking up the Bloodlust here.
And well played on his part. Now we can see, the chase continues.
Yep, that's another kill.
Overstaying his welcome a little bit. Counterwarding next to that hasted Meraxus proved to be the wrong thing to do at that point. And actually, Meraxus was ported back to base. I'm not sure if he wanted to go back. He was like setting up for a kill on a Luna in the mid, and it was like, no.
And he's back at base, yeah. A little unfortunate there, maybe, but yeah. Usually, as an affiliate player, I think in cases like that, you'd probably wait for them to say port me back. So I think that Haxorin would have actually told him port him back, but I might be wrong. Maybe Iceland
Go is
better.
trolling a little bit.
Maybe
at
he
times
thought better.
as well.
Yeah.
I know it happened a few times at least when he has ported back Sibba, and Sibba desperately didn't want to go back.
No. Midas middle lane in the meantime, saving in some trouble right here. Manus under a lot of lockdown, nothing you can really do after that. And obviously Moira and Behemoth, they are a very dangerous roam combo. Aluna, I don't even know if her stun was used to get a little necessary there. I don't think it was actually. So Behemoth and Moira doing plenty of that already. So able to just assist damage there for the kill. Oh, it was? Okay, well, I was wrong. Quincy making it clear that he sure did. So good job by Boxy there, then lining a 5-second stun, which again isn't easy necessarily on Aluna. Using the creep wave to its advantage. Bottom tower in the meantime, though, pushed down. Probusk able to get credit for it down there. It looks like Probusk is going for the Energizer here. He went the Iron Shield first, the Steam Boots, and now going to be building that Energizer. So pretty good early item build here.
Yeah, Mirage is up in 2 seconds as well, so potentially they could look to set up a kill. There's a lot of wards down here, though, for BMG side. Midas and Torture is going to run past. Now the question is, does BMG just back off, or do they want to contest this?
Yeah.
Seems like they're going to back off. Or Behemoth is actually running over, though.
They want to... I think they want to. I think they want to here. It's just they're maybe waiting to see if they actually were going to commit, and not just yet. Sandwraith is poking in, but with this creep wave, yeah, something tells me they're not necessarily going to go all out here. But they do have 4 up here at the same time. Midas, in fact, is scouting with the illusion. He's going to scare them a little bit right here with the illusion in the back. And it kind of does throw Behemoth off a little bit, but he turns around at the last second.
That was
almost
so close. Yeah, that would have been a wonderful play by Sibba. Just using the illusions to kind of direct Behemoth into his range.
Nearly a fantastic play, but he did not fall for it. However, Wild Soul, he's going to try to tank up enough, which he should be fine. Yep, he walks back, going in that bear farm. Of course, extra tankiness there with the armor value. But this bottom tower, it's probably going to fall at this rate, as all 5 are here now from Fresh. Now, the top first tower did go down in the process, and there's the invulnerability. So, really, BMG making it very clear that they're not going to let this be easy. I don't think they are going to defend it in the end. It's just simply delaying it as long as possible, yeah. Which they do
I think that favors the Hellborn team, though. I got to say, that took a long time for the Hellborn team to bring it down, or for the Legion team to bring it down, and they invested 5 people's time, and, well, BMG, they got a tower for themselves, and Boxy, of course, was farming the mid lane throughout that entire time. So, as you can see, the gold and experience lead still in favor of this Hellborn team.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely not too shabby at all. In fact, Sacrificial Stones finished as well on Aluna, by the way, as getting some nice support aura item there, as well as just bulking herself up, some good physical presence. Not necessarily a lot of physical threat here on the Legion side, to be fair, at least in the earlier game, but still, it's a good item to have if you're going to farm enough to get it. So, Wild Soul, anything on Boo Boo yet? No, nothing on Boo Boo himself. He has the Steam Boots and Mystic Vestments, 1,400 gold saved up now. So again, kind of the question now for me at least is, are we going to see that Mock of Brilliance perhaps that Wild Soul has been known for in the past? Or no, we're not, is the immediate answer.
I would assume so. Wait, he went for a B-start?
Oh, well, he sold it.
Or
maybe. Nope, there we go. He buys it again. So he's either a little
I
unsure.
don't think so. Like, Mock of Brilliance has tapered off big time when it's here nowadays. You don't need it to farm anymore, so the whole idea is kind of like out the window. It's still an alright item, but it's not worth like keeping your teammate playing as 4 versus 5 for throughout the entire time that you farm up that 4,000 gold.
Yeah. Speaking of that, we did see yesterday with Sandwraith Imba Boy playing it for Reason Gaming in one of their matchups, and he ended up going the Mock of Brilliance, remember, but then he also went that very strange Staff of the Master Restostone follow-up, which was interesting. But Probus doing it a little bit different, but this is more Probus style, though, again, to be fair. He's not a very greedy player usually. He likes a lot of the early build-up. Thus, he has the Energize here. What a 5-second stun on Moraxis! Poxy lining it up perfectly. In comes the heal. It's not going to matter. He could not get the ulti off in time. No, he did. He actually used it at the last second, but it still wasn't enough to survive right there. So even a double whammy, essentially. Meanwhile, bottom lane, by the way, Wild Soul, he's going to try to be tanky enough. Ports out, and yep, he's going to be fine with it. So good getaway from Ake in the meantime. But beautiful 5-second stun. Again, those are not easy to land.
That they are not. Well played by Boxy. He actually went for the Sacrificial Stone as well, so gonna take a little bit longer for him to reach the Hellfire, but he is going to be relatively tanky now, and it's going to be hard for the leading team to actually bring him down. Oh yeah, he's gonna find Midas with that Power Pro. This is like, I feel like the time is kind of running out for the leading team though. I mean, I feel like they had a prime time when they picked up the Astro and Ophelia, and they just had to go together and just try to continue to push in the mid, just force the Hellborn team out of their forest. But as the game is progressing right now, like, I don't think that the pushing from the Legion team is going to get any, or it's going to get easier at any time. I mean, if Behemoths get the pole key, then it's going to be nearly impossible to push versus. So I don't know what they're aiming with. I mean, I felt like they picked both the Torture and Ophelia to have that push synergy, but so far they haven't utilized it at all. And here we go.
Oh, middle lane action. Sandwraith porting in, gets the kill on Behemoth. Stun coming out from Aluna, though, looking for a turn kill maybe on a Torturer, but she realized sticking around maybe a little too long. Arcane Vortex is going to be used by Moira, stalling some of the damage, but Aluna, she was out of that the whole time. Moira gets out of there as Aluna does fall, but Moira, a sliver of life left, somehow managed to
Wild
make
Sword
the
is actually locked down in the mid lane now as well.
Kinda. Ophelia doing his best to keep him at bay, but here comes the Legion support. No portal keys or anything like that, but they do have quite a bit of slow. Look at the stomp on him. Meraxis trying to keep him slowed, but he ain't dodging axes, and that's going to be the ultimate issue. He throws out a stomp himself as they jump him. Not going to matter, though, and Wild Soul will go down to the end. Behemoth getting there a little bit too late. So good pursuit, good chase. Middle tower does go down in the meantime, though, and they did have really all of the members up trying to chase Wild Soul, even though they got the kill. So it really goes back to, is that the best use of their time and resources?
Well, that's what happens. You know, you tunnel vision a little bit when you're going for a kill like that. Probably nobody pointing or looking at that mid lane at the current time. But I think that was all right. Getting a kill on Wild Soul is quite important at this point. Actually, he went for a Helm of the Black Legion. I'm not sure if I like that. Once again, it feels really passive. And as we can see right there, I mean, if you get caught, then you usually get caught in a bad position, then you are going to end up dying with or without a Helm. So I feel like he should have maybe prioritized a little bit more of the farming items. Aluna is doing really good though, and Silhouette is as well. I mean, almost 500 gold per minute now on Balthazar. It's going to be so insanely tricky to deal with that counter pushing in the late game for the Legion team. I feel like they just need to keep the pressure up. They need to utilize the Ophelia now when she's at the strongest point.
Oh, Torturer, he got a little too comfortable into the Congor pit, and looks like he did get a Ward of Sight down, but that's definitely going to come at a cost. Was that a Shockwave used? It was. Well, they secures the kill, I guess, but that's a pretty big ultimate to use on a main support Torturer there. Simply trying to chase him down, but wonder if they're also going to pick up on the ward that he plays. Probably would, as they had a ward there themselves.
I hope the Legion team capitalizes on this now, because they know that the Shockwave is on cooldown. They got Portal Key onto Midas, they got Portal Key onto Meraxus, they got Astro and the Mana Ring on Ophelia. There's not going to be a better time than now. You could potentially wait for the Mock of Brilliance to finish up on Sandwraith, but that's just going to give the Hellborn team even more time. And it's better to just go push us 4 and let Sandwraith farm and then jump in with that Mirage ability.
Yeah, Silhouette been really very quiet this game, and the stat line reflects that. He's 0-0-0 at 18 minutes into the game. He really has kind of just been AFK at the top lane, it feels like, farming away, but hey, it's been paying off really so far. I mean, his team's not like his team's even up in Golden Experience, so especially if that's the case, you're just fine with your hard carry farming like he is. Bottom lane, Wild Soul going at it with Samwraith, gets the tower kill. Can he get out? I don't think he's getting out of this one, though. Even having the Helm of the Black Legion once again, it's not nearly tanky enough still, as could not get away from it. So, got the tower kill, but again, he does fall, giving some more farm to Samwraith especially here. Haxorn getting credit for the kill even.
But most importantly, he's buying time for his team. He's buying the time for Silhouette to continue farming, and as we saw right there, I mean, Shockwave was down on Behemoth, but still no moment or a movement from the Legion team. They're still not interested in pushing, and I just don't understand why.
Yeah.
They're not going to be able to outfarm the Hellborn team. It doesn't feel that way, at least. Or am I wrong on that? Are they still able to win late game? Maybe they are.
So. I don't think so. I mean, I think you are right but I think at the same time, it's kind of the time that they're going for is the mock. Once Samwraith has the mock of Brilliance, then maybe they'll be a little more interested in trying to push some towers and making some things happen. Yeah, right now they've got both the bottom towers taken out, obviously, and they did that earlier on in the game, so it really shows that obviously they got plenty of push that they could bring to the table, but they kind of stopped it after they got those two towers. But yeah, Silhouette, she's continuing to get upper as far as her farm goes, 500 plus GPM now. And sure, Wild Soul has died a couple of times, but obviously Wild Soul comes back to being one of the most dangerous carry potential heroes in the game because simply of the 12 slots that he has with him and Boo Boo combined. So, yeah, I think the Legion team would most certainly want to take care of business sooner than later here. In what is game number 2 now, but
I wonder if the whole idea in teamfights are just going to be to ignore the Wild Soul, because he built the Helm of the Black Legion as well, so he's going to be so incredibly tanky. And as we saw there when he was pushing the bot tower, I mean, they required Samwraith, the Midas, and the Meraxes to just bring him down. That's not something that you have the luxury to do in a teamfight. So they're probably just going to have to ignore Wild Soul and go all in onto the Silhouette and the Behemoth.
Oh yeah, no, Silhouette should probably be their priority, I would think, in these fights. But yeah, that's the other thing too, though. We definitely can't forget about a Luna. You know, we're talking about this whole Wild Soul and the Silhouette thing, but hell, even a Luna's doing pretty solid at 350 gold per minute, and we don't get to see her in this role often, but her damage potential throughout the game, and she actually has some pretty good scaling as far as carry goes because of simply the Q, the Emerald Lightning, with the attack speed steal that it, in essence, it brings. So, there is actually some scalability there, too, for her late game potential. It looks like she's going Sheepstick as well, by the way.
Yeah, she's going more for the support build in this game, actually, rather than the carry role. Oh, and 5 seconds stun again!
Arcane Shield doesn't do a damn thing. Shockwave follow-up, down kills Meraxes. You see Torture here trying to assist, but obviously not going to be even close. Nice Ophelia's touch, keeping him alive against Silhouette. Silhouette's diving big time. Don't get too tunnel vision, though, Silhouette. Wild Soul here as well, but here comes Meraxes. Now Silhouette dies in a fraction of a second, it feels like, and now Meraxes chasing down Wild Soul, so the buyback Meraxes, very worth it. Silhouette staying dead. Wild Soul going to hold his ground. The Fidget Stun kind of blocking him, really forcing him to, and Maka is eventually going to fall. They catch a Luna as well, and a Luna will go down. It all started with a 5-second stun on Meraxes. They got the kill, but then they chose to chase a little too much. That tunnel vision really backfired right there.
Oh, talk about a well-timed buyback from Haxorn playing the Meraxes. That was beautiful, that turnaround. That's probably going to secure them yet, or one, or maybe even two two towers here in the mid lane as well. Haxorn, as you can see, they're jumping in with a Quake Stun, trying to find a Behemoth, but Route of Sea was even further back. But that's got to be feeling pretty good if you're a Legion team now.
That certainly does. Silhouette, nearly 500 GPM, sure, and going to be resurrecting right here, still doing just fine, but that's definitely a fight that they needed, and now it's how do they capitalize off of it? Samwraith, he is currently continuing to farm in the jungle. They're going to get jumped, though, by Mora. This is going to be a big chance for BMG right here. Not going to Vortex. It wasn't on cooldown, so I don't know if what necessarily kept him from doing that. The block, is that successful? It is. What a block there from Behemoth. Here comes a follow from Silhouette. The tree grapple is perfect, too, and they do secure the kills. Boxy, actually, power throws in for it. So the nice catch on the Silhouette to finish it off at least, and now here the chase continues. You know what happened last time, though? It got a little tunnel vision, and it completely backfired. So you can still, Silhouette's like, all right, let's not do that again. And she'll fall back.
As long as they play this safe, they should be able to secure the game in the late game. Cernia got a War of Sight down here. I'm not entirely sure if it gives vision on to Congor necessarily, but it definitely should have an idea that they are in there.
That just dies right there, but yeah, Wild Soul, by the way, he goes an Ice Brand now, so going to be going to Frost of Skull, I would think, with this choice here. And man, well, he's going to be extra tanky. Even a Sandwraith, by the way, ulti. Probably just a scout, though. Yeah, just to see what's going on.
They are on their way. They're going to jump Behemoth, but nice Arcane Vortex is going to keep him alive for now, at least.
And it is. Sandwraith being chased down. No, he didn't get stunned by the tree grapple. That was big. If he got stunned right there, that could have been a dead Sandwraith, but he stays alive. Runs away, but there's the token on Silhouette, and yeah, BMG good fight for them, and obviously Fresh realizing that they got there just a little bit too late to make anything happen there in the end. Luna 17% hero damage, jeez. Yeah, I would not have expected that, honestly. But he's been doing plenty.
I still want to talk about this Iceburn as well on Wild Soul, because I felt like he already, had a tanky presence, so it came to the point the Legion team is just going to ignore him in the team fights. And now he goes for, well, a little bit more of a survivability item rather than just pure out damage, and I gotta say, I think that's a little bit of a mistake.
Yeah.
I don't know if Silhouette's going to be able to carry this on her own. She's doing great, but Mach is picked up on the Zenref, and I mean, Probusk is catching up in terms of farm. And we also see that like Aluna went for the support items, and obviously Behemoth's magic damage is going to taper off as well when Shrunken Head start hitting on the Legion team. While Sibbe went for Post Haste, a very late game oriented item, and it seems like Haxorn is going straight for that Shrunken Head as well. So even if the Legion team might not necessarily be as strong as the Hellborn team in the late game, I still feel like the items that they are picked up kind of provide them that chance at least of actually like contesting when it comes to late game.
I'm actually, I would love to get the insight on a Wild Soul, this new Wild Soul, to be honest, and why really the idea is that you want to build on Wild Soul himself compared to Boo Boo, because I'm having trouble realizing what really changed that makes that more relevant. I think one of the bigger things, I believe you can no longer do a Mock of Brilliance on Boo Boo and have it actually do damage when he's out of range. Did they change that, do we know? Or does that still actually work? Does he still do the mock damage?
I still think it does the mock damage.
Does he do?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought maybe that was something that was being talked about possibly happening that never did then. But okay, so that's the case. But then if that's even more to my point though. It's like, so what really changed to be like, oh, well, I want to build Wild Soul now rather than Boo Boo?
I'm not 100% secure, but I think it comes down to the shared damage reduction that you have, between Boo Boo and Wild Soul when he's in the BR farm, so that you're just so much more tanky than you used to be, and therefore you just want to prioritize those health items on yourself, just to keep yourself alive.
Okay, that's true. That's the one thing I actually did forget about the shared, what is that called? That's that World of Warcraft term that was... Freaking, I'm blanking now.
The link?
Yeah, the Soul Link. That's what I was trying to think. The Soul Link there between Wild Soul and Boo Boo.
Exactly.
Warlock builds. But yeah, so that's really what in essence it is. So yeah, I guess that maybe that is probably the bigger reason for it. But anyways, Moira, by the way, getting caught out here by Sandwraith. Pops the Arcane Vortex, going to buy time. Teammates to come in as usual. Moira will fall. Luna puts a stun out. Here comes the Shockwave. Sandwraith nearly died just like that. They will get the kill onto Behemoth. As now Wild Soul joins the party, and here comes Silhouette as well. They're really focused firing the Sandwraith, and it will be enough for the kill. Silhouette holding her ground. She may fall right here, but she has the token, remember. In fact, she is not going to fall in the end. She's going to hold her ground and look to chase now. The Illusion's going to be killed off, and it will be a 2-for-1 exchange, well in favor of BMG right there. And we'll see them push with this token now. I'm sure a minute and a half remaining on it.
Yeah, nice jump by Root of Sea in the team fight. Definitely bringing the damage to the Legion team. He was picked off straight away, but he did his job. He took one for the team right there, securing his the team fight. And I mean, even if they were to trade evenly, I still think that it would favor the Hellborn team at the current point. I mean, Silhouette just continuing to grow as a monster that she is. And if she gets the damage item now, next, like the Wingbow and the Savage Maze, she's just going to be able to take over the game.
Yeah.
I don't think that the Zenref is going to be able to compete with that.
No, I do not.
It feels like the synergy or the reason for why they picked up those heroes like the Torture and Ophelia and all that, it just felt like they were supposed to just push up early and just go as 4 while having Zenref just jump or farm meanwhile and then jump in with the Marriage when the team fight emerged. But they haven't been doing that, not a single time.
Yeah.
They're just always having Zenref with them in the start of the fight instead of having him farming and then jumping in with the Marriage.
Absolutely. But instead, it's not really worked out maybe as planned, and now it's a nice pick-off on a Root of Z right there playing the Behemoth, coming out as Sandwraith ports in to help it with Zibbe there, but So apparently it was a 2 for 2 last fight. I guess Moria did a buyback, and to clarify there. So Fusen is down to 1 buyback now. Again, not the end of the world, though, especially on a main support. But Wild Soul, he does have the Frost Wolf Skull. I thought he had it, actually. I saw him purchase it. Maybe he still needs another component of it before going to actually be finishing it here. But his GPM, 377 gold per minute. Aluna actually went the Null Stone. Okay. So it does not go to Sheep Stick. Yeah, I really thought the Blessed Orb was going to be that Sheep Stick there, but
it's good versus the Zenref, of course, for the marriage, but is that really worth it? Like a Sheep Stick, I mean, how great wouldn't that have been for his team? I mean, on Nullstone, that just feels over the top greedy, especially now with Wild Soul finishing off that Frostwolf Skull as well.
Yeah, I mean, him and Silhouette have a Nullstone now, so really the Mirage, it actually is nerfing the Mirage quite a bit. It's now 2 less targets that it's going to be activated on. So, yeah, but yeah, I kind of agree with you.
Would Aluna really be the one to focus with Zenref anyway? I mean, he would probably be jumping the Behemoth in every fight. What happened?
Silhouette just did her Silhouette thing. She was pushing top, caught Midas, quick kill, and then ports out with the illusion. So, Baltazar making a point and knows what he's doing just fine here with that Silhouette, of course, and secures the easy kill. So Zibbe dead for another 45 seconds. Zibbe with his post-haste. He likes to go this. He actually really likes to go Alchemist Bolt, it feels like. Just because, too. But no, there's no Parasite.
Raxus. Oh, Silhouette is actually going to miss this down.
Close, but no Cigar there. Frost Skull on Wild Soul we see. It's in the ranged form especially pretty damn good. Get that slow in there for prevent kiting from happening. But Silhouette, is he going to chase? Those are just illusions here. From the Geometer's Bank coming out. Wild Soul in the meantime will just kill off the Ancients. And Moira, by the way, gets her Portal Key finished as well. So now she too has that tool. Her Behemoth, Silhouette, all with Portal Keys here. A lot of initiation mobility coming out from the Hellborn side. You got Sandwraith with a Firebrand. It's sitting on he's sitting on 2,900 gold. He does have an Iron Shield though as well. Still, we'll very likely sell that here for something else too. But will it be Geometers, a Shrunken, more damage?
If you were going Geometers, I feel like you should have picked it up already. Ophelia. That hurts, man. He got a buyback. Actually, Iceland Gogo is sitting on 3,000 gold.
Yeah.
But once more, I mean, you're not. Ophelia is not really the kind of hero that you want to use a buyback on. It's not as beneficial, especially when you don't have any creeps. It's like, yeah, okay, I can buy back, but how much am I going to be able to assist my teammates with?
So controlling the map is definitely something that Bad Monkey Gaming is accomplishing pretty well right now. You see the warding situation. Rune has one bottom. You got in the middle lane here. So making a point that it's not going to be easy farm at all here for the Legion side. As Probuska is going to continue to farm out the bottom lane here. Moraxis.
Midas, Torture is nearby, but I don't think he's going to be able to support Midas enough.
Not even close, I'm sure. Yeah, there's a quick kill on a Midas, and Torture pretty much chain reaction, and that was it. So, and now he's in trouble himself. Silhouette, couple of auto attacks. Oh, he takes a stun. He needs to be careful not to overextend there. I assume he has an illusion up. Oh, yeah, that's now an illusion. So, where's the real one? Real one's over here. Okay. So he's fine. Doesn't get the kill on a Torture, though, at least.
Yeah, nice chain reaction coming out from Cernia. Right there at the last second, saving his life. Oh, no, when I think of it, Boxy didn't try to use the Emerald Red. Now when I think of it, I haven't seen that ability too much.
Well, for the stuns, those 5-second stuns definitely.
Yeah, of course. I meant the Emerald Power for him right there. He could have gone for the Torture, but maybe he thought that Silhouette already had a kill, so.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, Moraxis, he accidentally used his Shrunken Head. I think that was definitely an accident, at least. He's in the middle lane. I don't see any reason for it, so he just got it. Now that's 1 second less that he's going to be dealing with here, unfortunately, so.
Oh, did it cost the power from Aluna, and it actually scouts hacks around using a Veil Rot. I don't know if they actually picked up on that, but that was hilarious.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Bottom lane falling back before they get jumped. Behemoth, by the way, it does look like he's going for that Resto Stone. Sustainers picked up on him. So Rune Z going to try to manage to get that, but pretty far away from it still, so not going to happen anytime near future. There's a Wing Bow finished in full on Silhouette in the meantime. So how's that picked up here?
Yeah, that's pretty much the cue for Legion, that they need to make something happen here in the near future. I mean, it feels like, Legion team is just sitting back waiting for something to happen, but BMG is playing it so safe. They're playing it correct. They're just waiting for Congor to respawn, and then they're gonna kill him. And I don't think the Legion team are going to be able to contest that. Not without the vision in the area, at least. They're just gonna head up here to the top lane and try to make something happen. But, Haxorn's damage output has gone down significantly now. I mean, he got a shrunken head and his abilities is tapering off. He's not going to be able to assist his teammates with too much anymore. It's all gonna come down to that Samrev and his carry potential, as well as if Midas can actually find the correct target with the Sheepstick and just try to burst someone down. But I fear for them, I really do.
There's another Congor kill. Token of life on Silhouette now. So Sandwraith again continuing to push out the top lane. Is working off of that shrunken head we mentioned just got there. So Slayer picked up, by the way, on Wild Soul. So
the Arcane Vortex.
Mace.
Only gonna get the Torture.
That's still a kill if they actually follow it up, that is. So the chain reactions hit. He's going for the TP. Ain't gonna happen, though. Behemoth Fissure Stun stops that chance and secures the kill. So good job taking him out middle lane. That's real? No, that's fake.
I would assume it's the real illusion, though, so to say.
If he ports into it, it just like wrecks them, yeah. It's gonna die off, so.
No, but obviously having that on cooldown hurts him a little bit. He's not going to be able to, even if you have the Token of Life, he's not necessarily going to be able to go too crazy in the team fight.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to wait another 30 seconds at least until it respawns. Not the end of the world by any means. The question is, are BMG even interested in pushing this tower or pushing this base? Because, I mean, all the pressure is on Legion right now. They are the ones that need to make something happen. So BMG can just safely sit back and continue to farm.
There we go, exploring the Legion jungle is Silhouette, and now pushing the bottom tower. And using the power of a Silhouette hero in general here. Making life difficult on the Legion side, and needs to be a little careful as here comes the Fresh looking to make a hold, but the illusions are actually just going to kill the tower while the real Silhouette runs away. She is level 22 now, and getting even more farm to follow up with that wing build that she currently has. So Token of Life, 3 minutes now remaining, so getting to that point where I'm sure BMG going to start the group up and the push here. Frostprint on a Luna, by the way. A very interesting build.
All right, just adding up a little bit more survivability. Seems to be the trend over here at the Hellborn side now. They know for a fact the Legion team doesn't have any damage, though, so they feel confident that as long as they can survive their initial burst, they're going to be able to secure the team fights.
Yeah. 600 GPM Silhouette coming at you. Never a good sign for the opposition, but again, even a Luna and Wild, so Luna especially continues to be the best one for me, but 420 GPM or so right now, and just been pretty consistent with that. But Wild Soul also on the up and up. The Savage Mace is actually going to be happening here in the very near future, and that I would think is going to be a pretty devastating item. They don't have auras though. Well, they got the Sacrificial Stone, but no Soul's Bulwark, which I find a little surprising, especially with a Wild Soul. Okay, and that's maybe that's the old school style, but Silhouette, by the way, he went in right. That's the real one, I'm very certain. As now it's not real. He ports back to base. He's going to be fine. He had the token.
It was real.
Yeah, no, it was
what
real.
Do you mean? Yeah.
But he ported back to base.
Yeah.
The real one. So.
Well, he's back here now once again.
Coming back in, and there we go. The kill onto Ophelia, and now Silhouette chasing further. Nope, not going to happen though. As they're a little too far into the base now. So. But yeah, it's like what Fresh is just really playing from behind right here, and they're kind of, you can tell they're almost just hoping for some complete mistakes to happen from PMG, because they cannot fight them like head on head right here, and they're gonna have to try apparently as Moraxis stomps in. But just look at the racks dropping right here, the stomps from Wild Soul and Boo Boo. Behemoth background jumps in with a shockwave. Sarah's gonna drop like it's hot right there. He does have a buyback. Doesn't have Mirage, though. He will use the buyback. Midas doing all that he could. Eventually has to fall back, though. Not much mana left on him. Wild Soul tanking everybody, and Wild Soul will finally fall. He tanked quite a bit, though. In the meantime, Silhouette does fall. Token of Life, bringing him right back up, though. And Wild Soul and Behemoth will be the dead ones. Probusk died and died again. by the way, after the
Oh, that
buyback.
that hurts. I missed that one. It's that wild soul, like you cannot target him under any circumstances. You can see right there, even if he's at like 2% HP, he's just holding his ground like a freaking beast. And now it actually looks like he's going for a Savage Mace himself.
Yeah.
He's got a Slayer already. I mean, that was a alright hold. They lost the racks though, and of course the buyback as well from the Zenrith. But you gotta remember the Silhouette did have the token at that time, so it was even in that trade. But yeah, what are you going to do now? I mean, you got a Sheepstick finishing up here onto Sibba, but that's literally going to be the last thing that you can like get into your favor. You have to make something happen now. You gotta go like 5-man Veiled Rot and just try to find Silhouette or out of position.
There's a Sheepstick finished on Midas, so that'll help with that a little bit. And again, granted, the Nullstone on Silhouette makes it a little more difficult. Midas himself doesn't actually have a way to remove it without having to use the Sheepstick, so kind of defeats the purpose right there for him. But maybe trying to invest in something like a tablet next.
Look at Behemoth as well. That's so
He also
annoying
has
if
an
you're
Nullstone.
Probus.
That's
Yeah.
pretty funny, actually. You know, we... I've talked about this in the past. It's like, wouldn't it be fun if everyone gets a Nullstone against like a Thunderbringer or a Sandwraith and it just like completely nullifies them? They're almost there. They're more than halfway there with 3 out of the 5 heroes.
In TMM, I've done it, but in competitive, I've never seen it. This is something new.
That's hilarious. I love it though. See, yeah, now it honestly makes Luna's a little bit more powerful now, the fact that even another teammate has. It's like it like constantly grows, and them picking it up initially
Here
it makes
we
it
go.
even that much stronger now that they have it. As we do have a jump down here. Once again, the Arcane Vortex, and look who's coming over. Silhouette joining the party, pounding in auto attacks. Nobody dead just yet. Shockwave goes off. The Moraxis is holding his ground for the most part. It seems like Sandwraith, he is in the midst of it as well, but now he's starting to drop as Silhouette's getting the auto attack. Still is the Luna. Down goes Sandwraith, dying yet again. Everyone's staying alive on the Hellborn side. Not the same for Fresh right here. Ophelia goes down. It's a 4-for-0 exchange. Vote to concede comes out. GG, well played, and that will do it for game number 2. So it will end in a split here as far as this series is concerned of 1-1 with Bad Monkey Gaming and Fresh. So they each take a point out of these games here. So both a so-so start here, but BMG has to feel good at least that they were able to come back and take that second game in pretty impressive fashion too. It was definitely a fun game by them.
Absolutely. I think 1-1 was more than fair between those teams. Of course, Mid dominating the first game and BMG never